agreement, but each year it got tougher and tougher and tougher. It was the same old, same old. Finally, the Hillview reached the point where they paid off their debt and they relieved the LUC of raising that money. And that's my concern. It's not the short term and the energy, it's the longer term thing. And I think that this is important. You don't have to convince me of that. I think it's a case of, let's take a look at it. And in fact, where we're in this 3-year budget plan, should we in fact be looking at it from the point of view of funding part of it, or at least having a plan in place that says going downstream, if you fall short on your funding, and we want to keep this program going, it's that important. How do we go about funding it? I think we need that kind of a plan. We need to give the town administrator a chance to look at various organizational options of how he would like to manage that. You know, I'm not necessarily convinced that it should report to the recreation director. Maybe it should be a separate department. Maybe it doesn't even belong here. But I think we need the opportunity to do that. And that's where I stand on this issue. And I don't see that slowing you guys down at all. Because I think you can move forward with your fundraising, and at April town meeting, we bring this thing to some final conclusion. We know where it's going to go, and we implement it at that point in time. That's where I stand, Giles. I don't know if that answers your question, but I don't want it to be perceived as I'm creating some other committee just to delay this thing. That's not my intent at all. Anyone else want to speak on this issue?
Good.
Mr. Bean.
Yeah, I'd just like to clear one thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody and everybody, because Mr. Dadino asked that Marissa's original petition, I believe you asked, that it still be in the warrant. It's there.
No, he's asking for the modified.
Oh, you're asking?
No, I'm not.
I'm
actually asking for the original one. I don't want to put them on.
The original one is we can't remove it.
No. Can I make clarify?
Yeah, please do, because that's
what I'm saying is that I want us to withdraw this study group, okay? Because I think it clouds the issue, okay? And vote, if we wish to vote against their proposal, let's vote against their proposal. No, I would say the original proposal.
Yeah, and that's this one
here.
here.
And we would vote against it. I'm not going to vote against it, but,
No, well, I mean, if I may, Mr. Chair, we are going to have to vote on this.
Yeah.
Because it's in.
Exactly.
Oh,
exactly. But I'm adding that I'd like to withdraw this.
Okay, no, I understand.
Is this revised version in there?
No.
No. So it's our original.
The original is what's in the warrant.
We can't change your original.
Right, and we presented you with our suggestion, which was that if you came up with a revised version that built in the changes that you had expressed to us as concerns, that you would then present that as your version of ours and we would withdraw ours. So what we're hearing from you is that you have no intention of presenting a revised version which meets those needs. What you are prepared to present is setting up this study committee.
Well, it hasn't been voted on yet.
No, but that's you're proposing.
Yes.
Okay. So.
Again, move to a vote. This is getting to a point where I had hoped that it wouldn't. And the appearance is that it's there's a division of interests here, and there isn't. I think everybody's interest is the same. It's just a question of methodology and approaching it, and comfort level as to what's been proposed and how it's been proposed and how are you looking to implement it. And the chairman was far more eloquent and clearer than I was, and probably ever will be, as far as articulating why he's where he's at, and I'm pretty much in the same boat. Okay, we have the same interests here. I just believe that the town government needs more time to see how this would fit in. Where it fits in, but where it should be located, where it should be within a current existing department or not. Whether we should have the opportunity to partner with other outside organizations, or whether we should say, you know what, we can't undertake it for X, Y, and Z reasons as much as we want to, and Larissa take the ball and run with it. Whatever it comes out of, it comes out of it. But I think as Bob put forth, the town administration really does need more time to see how it would fit in. And I think the study committee, and again, the definitive time as far as reporting back, taking action is why it's in here. It's not like a study committee at the legislative level, where when it gets thrown into a study committee, it dies. That certainly isn't my intent. And I don't think it's anybody's intent here to kill this thing at all. It's just to make sure that if we're going to move forward with it, it moves forward where it fits into the town government structure, or whatever structure it should be in. And that's my intent, is to see that it comes to some sort of fruition on a timely basis, and in the right format and the right form. You know, so now I believe the board has a couple of options here, Mr. Chairman. One is voting to insert this article, and when it gets inserted, insert this article for consideration of town meeting. And again, it gets voted up or down. The citizen's petition still stays there. The problem with the citizen's petition is that it's flawed, the way that it's structured. And granted, you know, a bunch of 10 citizens get together, put something together and say, yeah, this is what we want to do. But it's flawed. The way that it's structured is flawed. It doesn't work. The board can also avail themselves of the opportunity of inserting another article, the agreed upon modified citizens petition, inserting that also. And again, that's another decision we'll have to make this evening, I assume, if we so choose.
If it's going on the warrant, it has to be made this.
It has to be made tonight. So it's, you know, or we can just leave it alone and let's insert this other, or we can just leave everything alone, let it go up and down. I truly believe it needs to be studied, and that the insertion of the study committee articles is warranted and more prudent approach.
Mark, you,
Can you look at it this way? We're giving you 2 free years. It gives you 2 years to look into adding more years, you know, at the town's expense or Narissa's expense. 2 years to think about it. We've already thought about it.
That is what the committee could do.
This is what we can do for you.
I'm not following. Mark.
Basically, we're doing something that the town needs at no cost to the town. We've promised 2 years. We may promise more, 3, 5, 10. I don't know how much everybody's committed to right now, but once it gets going, it's going to carry itself to a certain degree, and you're going to find out that over the years that come, it's going to be the best thing we ever did. If we don't do something and we keep talking about it, nothing's going to happen. Let us do our thing. We've studied it. Let us use our revised article, and I think that's a fair compromise. This is going to pass the town meeting.
Chair.
Mr. O'Leary.
I think there are, and again, you've reached out, done a great job of reaching out, but I think if it's structured through town government, through the town administration, I think you're going to get maybe more people involved. But I think as we move forward, we would move forward in a direction which would be better organized and suited to act within the town government structure. I mean, what you're looking for here is to create a new standing committee. You're looking to create a new position. You're looking to create new accounts and funding mechanisms. And it really hasn't been run through the channels as they normally run. So it's give the town administration the opportunity to weigh in, help structure it, so that when we do move forward 3, 5 years down the road, 20 years, as Mike said, we've got a structure in place that we don't have to continue to try and modify. When you say, you've done the work, and you've done a lot of it, you've done the work, here you go, so take it, let's do it. I can't buy into that yet. And I'm with you, but
You know,
but
see,
I'm not against.
I really think this is like, you know, the way people are looking at this. It's just a different way of looking at it. And I don't, and it kind of surprises me, because I don't know that I see the difference here between what they're trying to do and any other committee we set up. They're looking to set up a committee, okay? They're looking to set up a committee. They're looking to fund a revolving account, okay? And the committee, in their proposal, as been pointed out by Mr. Vino at the time, okay, their proposal doesn't ensure, it doesn't say they're gonna hire, their initial proposal doesn't say they're gonna hire a town employee, but clearly that, they're being honest with you, that's what they wanna do. But the point is that they appoint a committee. The committee, every committee we've ever appointed does the same thing. A committee defines its role, it defines, the space, it defines all those things. That's the role of this committee. All those issues that you're mentioning are absolutely issues that need to be decided. But that's what this committee would do, decide those issues. All right? And they would bring them in the umbrella, all the better over a study. To me, this committee is so superior over a study because they would bring their plans, they would bring their agreements and bring them to the town administrators and then to our desk, okay? Where we would look at them and say, hold on a minute, we don't like this, we don't agree with this, or we do agree with this. What about this? Did you think of this? Okay, it gives us a hands-on involvement in this, okay, for the betterment of the town. To me, to put a study group together, to push away the money and to push away the people, I don't see it. We all know it needs to happen. It's one employee, assuming they hire an employee, and it is in your control, Mr. O'Leary, in your control.
That's not my control.
Yeah, you like the control.
No, it's not
In
my
your
control.
control. But I'm kidding. I don't see it, but to me, if I can't convince you, I can't. I think that we ought to just take a look at the articles and make our recommendation. I think that the study group is just delaying what needs to be done now, okay? That's what I think.
We're not converging on much of anything, I guess.
Recommendation.
Someone want to make let's see, we're talking about Article 25.
We're talking about the new Article 25.
Well, that's what we've been talking about.
Right.
So we'll go to the others.
I move to recommend Article 25.
Motion by Mr. Beaner. Do I hear a second?
What is Article 25 replace?
This is the services study committee.
Right.
Does it replace something?
Nope.
No,
No,
It just comes in.
Just said that it's
It-
25.
it's another article.
Yeah.
Do I hear a second?
yes, sir.
Motion made by Mr. Vino, seconded by Mr. O'Leary. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Me.
It's 4-1. Okay. Now,
No, 2-2, 3-2.
oh, I'm sorry. I didn't,
Just looking at everything, I don't know, I just want to see, I'd like to put it into the town meeting and just see what people have to say about it.
It's not that.
I know what I told you
But
before,
that's-
but
No, this is
we're talking about this,
This is the
Study
study.
group?
wrong article.
This isn't the,
oh yeah, I know.
You voted 3-2. It's 3-2.
No, I wanted to make sure he was looking at the right
Yeah.
article. Okay. Now, we also have an article that was negotiated between the town administrator and Narissa that changed some of the organizational structure of the committee, I believe. I guess at this point, it's only fair to ask whether or not the board is interested in inserting that in the warrant.
Just a minute.
Yes?
With the amendment that was recommended by Mr. O'Leary, which is that 90-22 would read, to employ a youth services director who shall be appointed by the town administrator as a town employee and on the basis of recommendations by the youth services committee.
Yes, reverse it.
Yes.
Recommended by the committee, appointed by, that's, you
Yes.
can't say it reverse.
Okay, yes. And we would be delighted if that was to go.
One reason to put that in over not putting it in, I guess, is that there's a high probability that town meeting could be convinced to who vote favorably for their article, in which case it's flawed.
Right.